Hello. Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. Or yes, it is the big game. It is the big game, the huge game that I think most of the people who follow football, follow every year and wait for it eagerly. So I had to get on Dhenuka, long time, bhai. कैसे हो? मतलब इतना दिन हो गया. मतलब I was wondering here, is it the fact that Real Madrid are dominating like crazy? मतलब एकदम ही जीत, and you're like, okay, come on, as in, forget it. We don't care about the others. How's life?
No. Life is good. Work is very busy, and that's the only reason. So I've been traveling a lot for work. So इसलिए it was very difficult to just watch the matches and keep up with everything. तो इसी वजह से I have not been एकदम active on YouTube at least.
नहीं,
बाकी
it was
matches तो
before
देखती
that, obviously, for people wondering, भाई मतलब Dhenuka obviously part of Bombay पे नहीं है, and again, she had the as in the opportunity to go to the Spain and actually visit the stadiums. I remember that happened the last time we discussed, and it was fantastic. लेकिन हाँ, big up to the chat. सब लोग जो आए, first of all, like कर दीजिए stream, certainly that helps. ज़्यादा लोग आएंगे तो मजा आएगा. Like I always say, and yes, it is El Clasico, especially after what has happened to Barcelona in particular. हाँ, वी वर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि बारसा फैन भी हमें ज्वाइन करे, सो लेट्स सी इफ यू आर एबल टू गेट दैट. नहीं तो एज यू नो, मैं तो हमेशा न्यूट्रल पर्सपेक्टिव ही दूंगा. आई डोंट हैव एनी साइड इन टर्म्स ऑफ रियल मैड्रिड बार्सिलोना, बट ऑफ कोर्स Dhenuka representing Real Madrid, and of course people in the chat will be representing them as well. And yes, ये I must say that I just started by offline में भी बोल रहा था Dhenuka को. I'm not in the best of moods because of this news. Yes, it looks like it might be a surgery. Gaurav, absolutely, जैसे मैंने पोस्ट किया, but let's hope for the best. It's not as first it was not bad as what we thought it would be, but then it kind of seems that it is bad. I mean, let's hope कि यार weekend में जो वापस से final as an outcome हो, it is not really bad as well. But yeah, he's out for a while. Let's see. अरे Mudit को happy birthday, Wana Buzz. Great to see that. Happy birthday, Mudit. Everyone, let's have happy birthday to Mudit. That's Wana Buzz,
Happy birthday,
absolutely.
Mother.
Absolutely brilliant. Always getting Mudit support. Dhenuka is back. Absolutely, she's back, and obviously for the big one, she had to be back. By El Clasico, पहला चीज मेरे मन में आता है, okay, Dhenuka, man. We have to speak to Dhenuka for sure. Mayuk as well. Lucy, yes. Rudiger is fit to play. तो हाँ, उसकी पहले बात कर लेते हैं. मतलब I know midweek की हम बात करेंगे, form की बात करेंगे, all those things. But Dhenuka, like, come on, as in you can't thank Chelsea for the guy that you got. This is like, man, this is a warrior of the next element, bro. What is this?
Absolutely. I don't know if everyone had the chance to see Real Madrid. YouTube has been very active, तो वो काफी पोस्ट करते हैं अभी. So उन्होंने पूरा एक वीडियो अपलोड किया था about him getting the stitches done, and मैं जब भी मैच देख रही थी, it was crazy because it looked bad. मतलब स्टार्टिंग पहले तो कुछ समझा नहीं because they cut off the thing, right,
Yeah.
the injury part, so
हाँ,
they
मैं
were not
एक्चुअली
focusing
रियल
on.
मैड्रिड वाला यूट्यूब वीडियोस में देखा हूँ, just to be sure, and I did
हाँ,
not show that.
right,
So,
right,
but
right.
that is
No, because when watching the match, we all just saw the goal first, right? Like it was a collision and there was a goal, and we were just like overjoyed. So वो उसी पे focus कर रहे थे. Then I just saw he's like there's blood on his face and it's like really bad. But then वो broadcaster ने cut कर दिया because they don't want to show that on the screen. So they cut off from that, and then it just looked so bad because they were covering his face and he was walking off the field, and you could see that he was trying to get back on the field. So nobody knew how bad it was. But every time they then showed the replay, right, it was so bad. And I'd even tweeted at that point कि this looks really bad. पता नहीं ये इसका क्या हाल होने वाला है, क्योंकि पूरा ऐसे फेस कवर करके निकला है ये बंदा.
yeah.
And
I don't know.
then
Mask incoming. मतलब is there a possibility you think यार मतलब
there were all
I
these memes, yeah, about, yeah,
you
the
remember,
Rudiger
right?
with the,
हाँ,
yeah,
because I remember exactly. I think was it against Leicester. तो क्या होता है ना, story for people who don't know. This is for people who don't follow the Premier League much, or even if they do, why this is a great memory. I know Leicester fan in the house, by the way. Yes, the Red Joker Akash is actually Leicester fan, बहुत coincidentally. और हमारा actually match होता, जहाँ तक मुझे याद है, it was basically FA Cup हम हार गए थे Leicester के साथ, right, 1-0. And of course, kudos to Leicester to do that. लेकिन हम भी उसके बाद में क्या, आई थिंक इट वाज अमाटे ऑफ लेस्टर, जिसने एक्चुअली आई थिंक द Chelsea flag को फेंक दिया था. So there was a viral reel and he kind of disrespected us. Of course, not the entire Leicester, but Amate was wrong. और हम actually बहुत as Chelsea fan, were kind of giving back to Leicester, but Rudiger gave it on the pitch and he did proper. I think he scored a brace with that mask on. मतलब I still remember the scenes that happened, like So Rudiger, मतलब मैं बहुत surprised हूँ कि यार the fact that as in I know a lot of predicted 11s आ रहे कि Rudiger नहीं है, because knowing him I know that he'll want to play all the more. ये मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन, बट anyway we'll come to that as well. लेकिन हाँ, Kunde versus Vini, what's your preference? Well, first of all, Kunde I don't think is 100% fit, is he? As per reports.
I think he's playing though. There were rumors
Start
yesterday that
करेगा?
he's
Okay,
playing. Okay. Yeah.
okay, okay.
So it
चलो
in
चलो.
all likelihood it will be Kunde on the
Right,
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, by the way, Darren ko shout out hai by Darren. Obviously, Chelsea fan like me is a little sad, I'm sure. Darren himself, yeah, Darren, I hope you're well, by the way. Meanwhile, like, about the Reece James cheese, or I know it's kind of connected in the past with the Real Madrid also targeting Reece James, so you can kind of understand. Rudiger, kya beast hai, giving all to the team. I hope Benzema to get back in form. Absolutely. Hi to Ansh as well. Chandan, chalo. Mayuk bhi aa gaye. Kunde will travel to Madrid with the group. Chalo, thanks Mayuk for confirming that.
Yeah.
But चलो बात कर लेते हैं about the form. Yes, we'll come to Barcelona as well, which is obviously the topic of the day. सच में बोलूं तो in terms of how will they come back. लेकिन I think Dhenuka from a Real Madrid perspective, सब लोग को याद है लास्ट सीजन क्या हुआ था. I don't know. It's yeah, you might not have great memories about what happened in the Bernabeu. I think it was pretty sure 4-0 in the Bernabeu, right?
Yeah.
जो
Yeah.
था, yeah. और लेकिन first leg in the season, I think it was 2-1 when it was obviously under Koeman, if I remember right.
Yeah. It was
तो
under Kunde. Yeah. Before
yeah,
January.
so it was kind of mixed on the day, because yes, आप बोल सकते हो that Barcelona came and changed the environment in La Liga जब हुआ था January transfer window, and then
Right.
the El Clasico happened. But मतलब the reality is that Real Madrid have been there in terms of the La Liga more compared to Barcelona in recent times. So how are you feeling, like, as a Real Madrid fan? Are you like confident about this, considering what Barcelona has gone through in the Champions League?
I wouldn't say that actually. Barcelona has had a very good record, I think, in La Liga. So the Champions
Mm-hmm.
League is a different story, and the game was a different one. But I think Barca have what conceded one goal, I think,
Oh
in
yeah, exactly.
it's
मैं भी वो
crazy.
देख के शॉक हो रहा हूँ. एक गोल कंसीड किया
So
है, right?
yeah, so they see they've been really good. I would say that La Liga mein they have been really good, and there is no doubt about the fact that it's a difficult team to beat. It's a really difficult team to beat. Coupled with the fact that we don't have Courtois, we don't have so it's Lunin who is at the and Lunin, to be honest, has not had a whole lot of chances, if like obviously, right, because he was the
Right,
second choice keeper, but it was not even like he was given a chance when Courtois was there. And for goalkeepers that is always the issue, right? Unless you're PSG. So in I don't sorry, why is my screen flickering so much? I don't know. Is it on
it's
my
fine.
end?
It's fine to us, right, people? I think Denuka's screen is fine to me at least, unless you guys tell me in the chat. भाई सब लोग को
Okay.
बता दो थोड़ा. मुझे तो ठीक लगा Denuka बिल्कुल.
Okay, because यहाँ पे इतनी जोर से बारिश हो रही है, I don't know if it's because of
Oh,
that
okay,
from.
okay. It might be the net. No worries. It's fine to us.
Okay, so like I was saying, they Barca actually have a very good record, have had a good run in La Liga, and uh, just again, actually, you saw, right, like he even in the Champions League he is in the form of his life. So and contrast that with not having Courtois on goal, you have
Mm-hmm.
Lunin, who is really inexperienced, to be honest. He's a good keeper, but he's not our first choice keeper. And
तो
I think
कैन लूनिन बी दैट गाय हुज टारगेटेड, लाइक फॉर इंस्टेंस, मतलब मैं रिलेट करूंगा चेल्सी के साथ. चेल्सी के
hmm,
बारे में पता ही है भाई, केपा मतलब जब
yeah,
होता है,
yeah,
एज मच एज ही इज द नंबर वन अंडर पॉटर एज ऑफ नाउ,
sure.
जब बात करेंगे. बाय द वे, यस पीपल, यहाँ पर ऑल्सो शाउट आउट टू बेसिकली एज इन कपल ऑफ अदर पैनल, दैट इज इंडी कॉप एंड टॉक फुटबॉल, क्योंकि हम मिलने वाले हैं एट अराउंड 9. दैट विल बी बेसिकली ऑन द अदर चैनल ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज एफसी, तो वहां पर मिल लेंगे. लेकिन हाँ, वहां पर हम बात करेंगे प्रीमियर लीग की. आई नो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस अबाउट रीस जेम्स. I know that has been the news, लेकिन I will talk about this. Wait for an hour and a half. अभी के लिए let's focus here. लेकिन हाँ, लूनिन जैसे केपा जब होता है ना गोल में, the opposition kind of knows, so it's almost like a tactic to as in hit those long shots, take those as in narrow angles. What is Lunin's as an advantage that you have compared to Courtois, if any?
Compared to Kotwa, I wouldn't say, because, like I said, he's not had that much game time. To be very
Mm-hmm.
honest, but his reflexes are really good. He is good. He's a very he's a very decent keeper, and it's just unfortunate that so there was the stat doing the rounds that the last game against Hetafe was the first clean sheet for him in his Real Madrid career. But to be very fair to him, I think that it has been rather unfortunate when he has kept for us, and like we've been defensively poor, and I wouldn't blame like Lunin for it, for that stat. But
Right.
the
नहीं
thing
लेकिन
is,
जैसे मैं what I'm trying to say is like I don't know, maybe I'm relating to Courtois मतलब previous
mm,
experience. Courtois has been fantastic, don't get me wrong, like arguably मैं तो बोलूँगा he is मतलब I know हम Benzema के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, by the way उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. People, what do you all think about everyone in the chat? आप बोलिए meanwhile Lewandowski commenting about Benzema. भाई वो Ballon d'Or मिलेगा अगर Ballon d'Or cancel नहीं हो, but anyway we'll come to that.
yeah.
Courtois for me has been right up there. मतलब you can argue that he's at that level. लेकिन I think one aspect which I would still say that अगर आप उसको pressure डालोगे is his distribution. Sometimes
Absolutely.
yeah
Absolutely.
तो
I
तो
agree with that.
तो,
I
तो
agree with that.
Lunin
It
I don't
has
know मतलब
vastly
if
improved. It has
right.
last season you can see his distribution has improved a lot compared to
Right.
what it was earlier. Earlier, I won't make up for like his thing. It was pretty awful. So it
Mhm.
was one worrying aspect of his. Even when his other aspects of him as a keeper were good, his distribution was really a concern. And it is I'll be the first to admit it's not the greatest. He has improved a lot over this last
Correct.
season, but Lunin is really good in that aspect. Lunin is
अच्छा.
good, and he is good. He has good reflexes, and but वही होता है ना. See, you have Lewandowski there. You have Dembele, who I personally think Dembele is, when he's firing, he is unstoppable. He's really a concern for the opposition team. And I know there are memes, and I know like
Dhenuka, the problem is I know मतलब Barca fans वो अच्छा नहीं लगा सुनने के. I know they may agree as well. भाई डेम्बेले जब है ना ये बहुत फायर कर रहा है शॉट्स और क्रॉसेस, लेकिन वही ये क्रॉस करे इंशाल्लाह वाला चीज हो रहा है बहुत. तो
hey,
with you
but
guys having maybe a center back partnership that you have, like first of all, if say let's assume जो ये चीज बोल रहे हैं पनीर Benzema that about Rudiger with mass, let's assume this is true. I really feel that he'll want to play all the more. What is your center back partnership for to play against Barcelona for you?
I would ideally want Rudiger to play because
Mm-hmm.
I think that we have to put, so you have to give Lunin that extra sort of defense, like booster the defense a little bit, boost the defense a
बिल्कुल.
little bit more, because you have Lunin on the goal. Secondly, Rudiger is, he's a beast in every sense of the word, and he is defensively, I think, way more confident and way more aggressive than Militao, who so I think Rudiger does what Militao does, but is also he's extra solid defensively. I think so. I would really want Rudiger to start, but again, this is one of those things, Carlo thinks. I'm 99% sure he'll start Militao and Alaba.
Okay.
So
नहीं, because Rudiger, मतलब as much as you can say that Militao and Alaba probably your experience, kind of chemistry on दोनों में, and Carlo,
right,
you said it right. Don Carlo, we all know it as well as Chelsea fans that bhai, this guy doesn't like to change as much in between
correct,
the say season. लेकिन at the same time, I think वही you mentioned about point about Dembele, right? So
yeah,
Dembele puts in a lot of crosses. For
right.
me, as in someone who hits the ball like for fun is Rudiger, and that's something that I thought that maybe would make sense. But I hear you about Carlo. यहाँ पे डाइवे के एक क्वेश्चन पूछते हुए बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग. I'm not sure if this El Clasico will be a title decider because the way Bilbao, Villarreal, Betis, even Rayo is playing, anyone can drop points at any point. Your thoughts? Well, I don't know, man. I kind of disagree, but I don't know. What do you think,
Yeah.
Denuka?
Title decider के लिए I think it's a little early to call it a title decider. But the problem we've always seen with La Liga teams is, and this has nothing to do with ability and talent, right? It has everything to do with depth and sustaining their form for such a long season. So they'll
Right.
always start off really well. If you see Bilbao, Athletic Bilbao, Betis, all of them, even last time, Sociedad last time, all of them were in splendid form. Sociedad was actually competing with Real, and at that time it was, I think, Sociedad and Real were like at the top last season, around the first half. So they were giving like proper tucker to the team at the top of the table. But what always happens is that as we approach the lag end of the season, as we approach the second half, there is no depth to sort of, so injuries take a toll, there is fatigue that kicks in, so it's very difficult to sustain that form throughout the season. So Betis, I think even last season was fabulous, and I was so happy I got to see Betis play. I saw the Betis Barcelona match at in
Right.
Sevilla at Betis' home ground. But they have some amazing players, and they've been in very good form even now. But you see how even Borja Iglesias started off so well. He was up there with Lewandowski, and at the time I think Benzema was also in the mix, and now slowly it's dropping, right? So
Yep. Yep.
that's what happens. Eventually, it is the sustaining that kind of form throughout the season is very very tough. So I won't call it a title decider, but it'll definitely. And this time we have this World Cup also thrown into the mix,
वो हाँ
so it's
बिल्कुल
going
तो
to be
दे माइट ड्रॉप few points just before and after the World Cup, both the
yeah.
teams. लेकिन वही है, मुझे लग रहा है ना, मतलब ये 6 पॉइंट जो है ना
Hmm.
रियल मैड्रिड बार्सिलोना,
हाँ.
these are crucial. Imagine if one team gets 6 points
नहीं नहीं,
in
वो तो
two legs.
एब्सोल्युटली है, क्योंकि हमारा तो हेड टू हेड पे भी डिसाइड होता है ना, हमारा मतलब ला
एग्जैक्टली
लीगा.
एग्जैक्टली तो इट्स ऑल द मोर. तो अगेन अभी भी आप, मैं टेबल जो दिखा था, पीपल जॉइनिंग लेट, बाय द वे सब लोग यार अगेन लाइक्स दबा दीजिए, एंड ऑफ कोर्स बाय चांस यू नॉट सब्सक्राइब, कंसीडर सब्सक्राइबिंग एज वेल. Absolutely free of cost, but what we'll do is we'll be covering entire season as well. We just don't do Premier League, it's just not Chelsea. There's a lot more content coming on. Yes, जैसे दिनुका ने बोला, वर्ल्ड कप बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग, we are going to be coming back with that. लेकिन I think you mentioned about, basically, as in, for example, the players of Real Madrid, Benzema in particular, right? So Benzema coming back from injury versus a Lewandowski who is basically one last 2 हफ्तों के लिए he was criticized ironically, और इस हफ्ते despite Barca not doing well, day before yesterday he was the one who actually stood out as a leader, और उसने मारा 2 goals. And for me, मतलब this is an El Clasico, मतलब you will tell me, Denko, you're the best person to tell me, मतलब which was the last El Clasico? Like, obviously, you would say Ronaldo, Messi, but like proper number nine forwards, kind of, where you had wow kind of players in both the sides. Benzema was Lewandowski. This stands out for me, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the only thing that mars that is Benzema's form, like you correctly said. So वो है एक part तो, and but otherwise, if, and मुझे ऐसा भी लगता है कि Benzema sort of not rushed back, but I have a feeling he's not 100% fit, क्योंकि और ये बंदा मतलब इसको रेस्ट किया गया था against Getafe because of muscle fatigue, and then he's played what 90 plus minutes at in the UCL. So मुझे I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned about his form, but also his form because of उसका fatigue, uh, not recovering properly from the injury. मुझे बहुत ऐसा लग रहा है because he and वो होता है ना, then it affects your confidence because you start missing chances, and you're under a lot of pressure again, and then you have an injury, and then you've come back and again you're missing. So uh, but if not for that, like I would have been seriously way more hyped up for the Lewandowski Benzema clash. But even now,
But you never
I
know. You never
totally,
know. He's saving for
yeah.
this.
And
Why?
the thing with Benzema is it's not just the finishing, right? Like he, which match was it? It was the previous Champions League, Leipzig, I think. I think it was against Leipzig,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that beautiful link up play, right? So Benzema provides a lot even otherwise. So, even
बिल्कुल
if
बिल्कुल.
his link up play clicks with Fede and Rodrygo and Vinny and the like, it's going to be an amazing game to watch. So,
हम्म.
but yeah, but Benzema's form. But other than that, Lewandowski versus Benzema, you said it rightly. And for a while now, we've not had that kind of a
Yeah, मतलब
big name clash.
when I again correct me if I'm wrong, people, मतलब कौन नंबर 9 था बार्सिलोना का जब राहुल एकदम प्राइम में था, मतलब मुझे I don't know, I'm going blank for a second. लेकिन who was main number 9 when Raul was in his prime for Barcelona as in that
Morientes.
time?
Oh, Barcelona. So Raul was never like the number nine, right? He used to play in the whole
हाँ,
या
yeah,
फिर
मतलब what I mean is like
हाँ,
he was, मतलब
the
he was first
striker.
name of the team sheet, for me. उस समय.
उस टाइम पे कौन था? Good
I
question.
think David Villa was pretty young. मतलब I'm
No,
talking
no, no,
about
not Villa. Villa was
mid
at that time
2000s.
not even in
Exactly.
Barcelona.
Maybe I'm
No,
just
he
blanking,
was
but
in
कोई नहीं. But talking
Villa.
about Barcelona, यहाँ old school purist Rajesh in the house. Rajesh, always good to see you, bro. Again, मतलब, yeah, there is a perspective. I'm not able to gather excitement for this Clasico after the Inter game. If we win, it will be a total surprise for me. I just we are able to gather our spirits and arrive at this confident. You know what? That might actually work in Barcelona's favor. कि यार, maybe just maybe, I know Carlo won't let it happen, but maybe just इसलिए मैंने पूछा ना confidence level. एक होता है यार, you actually see Barcelona coming this way, maybe because there are a lot of youngsters also. I know Real Madrid is filled with the
Kluivert, yeah.
experienced players.
Okay. People are writing that. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
There was Kluivert,
So,
Eto'o, quite a few.
oh
Because
yeah,
Raul
of
was there
course,
for a long time.
Probably Clivert, and then Edu came on. Yes, absolutely, and of course Rivaldo was again not in the mind, but
Rivaldo
I
was,
know.
yeah.
I know what he's saying. लेकिन हाँ, मतलब Barcelona perspective for me, I don't know. मतलब राजेश आप बोले, और every Barcelona fan also I would like to see what is the lineup जो आप लोग देखना चाहते हो in terms of tactics. So Dhenuka, I'll ask you first. Pretty sure you watched that Inter game. Now, for me, in recent times, Barca Inter was one of the best group games that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
मतलब सच में बोलता हूँ. मतलब I remember Chelsea Ajax 4-all जो था, crazy game जहाँ पर हम actually 5-4 जीतने वाले थे. यहाँ पर arguably you can say Inter Milan might have won it 4-3 if not for Aslan, missing that last chance. तो
yeah.
मतलब tactically आप देखो तो Xavi went 3 the back. Yes, he's got a lot of criticism. मेरा point of view again, मैंने कल जी भाई से भी discuss किया था. I felt that Xavi actually got the tactics right. What he got wrong was probably the personnel,
Player.
and
Yeah,
that
the
was
players.
probably he was handicapped क्योंकि यार उसको injuries है. You cannot
Yeah.
deny that they have a lot of injuries. But him, like for example, what Barcelona has gone through the summer in Frankie De Jong, and then उसके बाद में he's used sparingly. मतलब how do you see Frankie De Jong as an opposition?
So, pehle to I'll come to the question about the excitement for the Clasico. So, as a Real Madrid fan, let me tell you, Barcelona always turns up in a Clasico. It does not matter कि तुम उन्होंने वो कैसे खेल रहे हैं यूसीएल में या कोई और टूर्नामेंट में. It does not matter. They will always turn up. So mark my words. And because that the energy of the match is such now that and like I said, Barca has been doing well in La Liga. So they're two completely different things, and these people are professionals. Okay, they are not going to be like, oh, these guys lost against Inter, so that form is going to carry on here. I will say that the injuries are a huge thing. Of course, they'll miss Araujo a lot. I think he'll be the guy who will be missed the most. And injuries aside for both teams, I still think this is going to be a really good Clasico. And you never know. In a Clasico, you never know. Because even when Real won like a few Clasicos before that last 4-0 loss, it was still like the intensity on the pitch is something else. Even if it was not a high scoring game, if it was a dud, there is this intensity, and there is like watch out for like controversial decisions and things going out of like it's वो box office वो entertainment guaranteed है because of the nature of the fixture.
अरे बॉक्स ऑफिस, इट्स अ ग्रेट पॉइंट, क्योंकि सब लोग को याद है. मतलब लेट मी एक्चुअली रिफ्रेश योर मेमोरी. हम बात किए थे 4-0 एट द बर्नेब्यू लास्ट सीजन, but honestly there was actually an El Clasico, you can say, even in the summer. It was in Las Vegas. I remember that it was a 1-0 victory for Barcelona with Rafinha scoring a golazo, और वहां भी लड़ाई झगड़ा हुआ था. मतलब there has to be some drama when it comes to El Clasico. I remember
this
that जो
pre-season you mean? This
हाँ
season?
एग्जैक्टली. मतलब
Okay, yeah.
it was like
Oh,
crazy
it
because I
was a
remember सुबह
huge
सुबह मैच
fight.
था. हाँ,
हाँ.
in Indian time it was early morning. I remember
Yeah.
waking up early, और मैं सोचा था भाई मतलब प्री सीजन है, कम ऑन, फिर भी देखते हैं, थोड़ा चांद तो रहता है. But the way the match happened, and of course in that game itself, and Dhenuka mentioned a point about Carlo being a little bit hesitant towards, as in putting Rudiger all of a sudden, because उस match में भी I think he came as a left back, और वो directly had a battle with Araujo. That was the news of the match, really. I remember that, where Araujo ironically got the better of Rudiger. Lekin again, Rudiger was also not bad. Again, Divek is saying people talk about Benzema and Vinicius, but always it's Fede Valverde who out of nowhere scores against Barcelona. So that guy scares me the most because he's everywhere, bro. Valverde is like a Kante of the younger version who can score you goals. That's what I really believe.
Valverde this season is, I think, like he's वो बोलता है ना level up. He's been like consistently climbing that sort of the levels. So Valverde, and so everyone's attention would be more on, say, Rodrygo, because there were talks about how Vinicius Junior had like this breakthrough season last season, so this might be this one's Rodrygo's. And while I'm not saying that Rodrygo's is not, I think Valverde is truly, like, he's really upped his game, and he's surprised a whole lot of people because he's literally playing on a completely different level. He, like I said, he can dribble, he can pass, he can shoot. He shoots with the other leg, in his non-favored leg, and scores like golazos. So
I'm calling him
absolutely,
Turbo Valverde. It wasn't Turbo Tibo, it was Valverde always who had the turbo in him. I am envious Dhenuka, मैं सच में बोलता हूँ, मैं बहुत envious हूँ. Valverde जैसा player आपको मिला है, plus Chouameni. And yes, I know, बहुत interesting है. I know the last time Dhenuka was on the stream, उस समय Chouameni के बहुत strong links आ रहे थे and all those things.
हाँ.
Dhenuka, as I'm pretty sure I've been proven right. I told you, like, Chouameni अगर मुझे Real Madrid कर दे, you will be
Yeah.
good for decade. And let's be honest, are you missing Casemiro? Let me ask you directly.
Personally, I am, but no, I think Chouameni has been so good, and he's surprised everyone, I think, a little bit by fitting in very quickly. And yes, of course, there are, you can see that, and this always happens, right? Even with Barca, like, they cannot find a like to like replacement for Busquets. And it's the same. They are different players, Casemiro and Chouameni, and but as a defensive midfielder, he has played so well कि Casemiro के जाने के मतलब ना, he's not let us feel that Casemiro has left and God, I wish
Yeah.
that he was still there or he would have been around for one more season. He's not done that, of course, but like, on a personal level, there are a lot of times when I really miss Casemiro because defensively he was still one of those. There is that whole leadership thing, and also, like, he
Yeah,
was a
he's a
tank.
character,
So
ना मतलब वही रूडिगर की हम बात कर रहे थे. Casemiro is
exactly.
another
So,
character.
yeah, and he was obviously experienced enough to, मैं हमेशा ये बोलती थी कि Casemiro does what, like, no other Real Madrid player will do. He'll play dirty. He'll take the hit on himself, and he'll kind of do that thing which, he'll play the way no one else plays. So he'll take one for the team, पता है. तो वो ऐसा player था. तो वो तो replace करना मुश्किल ही है, but we couldn't have asked for a better replacement. मतलब Chouameni is perfect. He's
Perfect.
integrated very well into the team,
उसके
and
उसके जो पासेस है ना, मतलब अगेन हम बात करेंगे जो लिंकअप किसके साथ पर्टिकुलरली कर रहा है, वो मेरे लिए बहुत, फॉर मी ही इज बीन द मोस्ट इंप्रेसिव दिस सीजन. एंड आई
true.
कम टू दैट इन अ सेकंड. लेट मी गिव अ क्विक शाउट आउट इवन द यूनाइटेड रोड अंशुमन, मतलब बिग अप टू हिम एब्सोल्युटली. पीपल डू चेक आउट हिज चैनल एज वेल. ऑफ कोर्स भाई, सब लोग अगेन जो भी जुड़ा है, प्लीज प्लीज लाइक कर दीजिए. आप देख ही रहे हैं यहाँ पर सब्सक्रिप्शन टारगेट है, लाइक टारगेट है. लेट्स गेट दैट अप so that we have more fun in the coming streams. And not just that, we are doing even आज हाँ, people wondering भाई ये प्रीमियर लीग क्यों नहीं प्रायोरिटाइज कर रहा है. बिकॉज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो मुझे शॉक मिला है अबाउट रीस जेम्स, और यस आई बीन ignoring those questions, but we'll be talking about that in just an hour and a half from now, as in before 9 PM हम live है on Almighty Sports Plus. तो हम definitely बात करेंगे with the special panel वहाँ पर भी. लेकिन coming to this point that I was trying to make, Dhenuka, भाई चौमनी का जो लिंकअप हुआ है विद रोड्रिगो, जो द पासिंग विद रोड्रिगो प्लेइंग अप फ्रंट, और कार्लो, मतलब ऑल द पीपल, आई थिंक ही चेंज फॉर्मेशन, वेंट 4-4-2 इन अ couple of
Yes,
matches. I
yes,
saw that. तो
yeah,
मतलब
yeah.
what's
Sorry.
your opinion on that formation for Real Madrid? मतलब how did you feel?
So 8-2, we didn't have a choice, right? Benzema was
Yeah.
injured, so और हमने किसी और को तो साइन किया नहीं है. तो our options are Asensio, Mariano, who else is there? Hazard.
Hazard.
So
भूल गए Hazard को.
नहीं भूल नहीं गए. नहीं as a I was thinking of मतलब मैं जोविच और मतलब स्ट्राइकर्स की सोच रही थी बाद में. So yeah, so this was the only you know option available, but I think काफी पहले जब पूछा गया था, बार बार कार्लो को पूछ रहे थे कि तुमने राइट विंगर साइन नहीं किया है, फॉरवर्ड्स किसी को साइन नहीं किया है. एग्जैक्टली ये राइट. सबने सोचा था कि बेंजेमा का इंजरी इज अ ह्यूज कंसर्न, क्योंकि दिस इज वर्ल्ड कप ईयर है, तो ही इज गोइंग टू प्ले एंड ही इज गोइंग टू प्ले एन नंबर ऑफ मैचेस नेशनल टीम के लिए भी. तो सबका इंजरी का तो कंसर्न था ही, बट किसी को ये नहीं लगा था कि इतनी जल्दी इन द सीजन वो इंजर हो जाएगा. So this was Carlo was asked this exact question, और तभी उसने कहा था कि है ना हमारे पास, वी हैव अदर प्लेयर्स जो खेलेंगे, एंड उसने उस टाइम पे भी मेंशन किया था कि वी कैन यूज रोड्रिगो एज अ सेंटर फॉरवर्ड. So everybody brushed it off at that point, of course, saying that किसी को खरीदा नहीं, and there was this whole Spanish quota, and Vinny Junior's
I
passport
remember
didn't come on
talking to you
time.
because I think was it the game against Chelsea? Chelsea था यार, या तो मुझे याद है Real Madrid Chelsea quarter final जहाँ पर he
हाँ हाँ
scored that header
yeah.
with a brilliant pass by Modric, I remember. और I remember talking to you about this क्योंकि यार at that point मुझे लगा एक natural होता है ना fox in the box वाला चीज. I know that I
Yeah,
might say big word, लेकिन Michael Owen आप देखिए the structure of Michael Owen was not very different in terms of the change of pace in the way in terms of what he played. तो Rodrygo can be developed into that, सच में बोलो तो.
एंड क्या है ना रोड्रिगो, अगेन यही हुआ था ना, द प्रॉब्लम वाज कि हमारे सारे प्लेयर्स जो है दे आर लेफ्ट, दे प्ले ऑन द लेफ्ट. तो विनीसियस ले लो, रोड्रिगो ले लो, एंड देन मतलब इट वाज गोइंग टू इट वाज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी अ ह्यूज प्रॉब्लम, क्योंकि तुम किस किस को खिलाओगे वही जगह में. एंड देन ही वाज लास्ट सीजन ही काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंटेड विद फोर्स फिटिंग रोड्रिगो ऑन द राइट. एंड ये है कि मतलब ऑफ कोर्स बिकॉज Asensio had a terrible season last season. So when Rodrygo played, at least he was able to sort of come on as a super sub and help the team out, and you could see that he was contributing more than Asensio. लेकिन एक गेम था, I think it was against Sevilla last year, La Liga में return leg away game था Real के लिए. And
oh, it's a more recent one, right? You're telling where Carvajal played as a left back towards the end.
हाँ तो
got
yeah,
an
it was
assist.
because so I think he was in a dilemma because the UCL was happening around the
I
same
remember
time,
very
so
well.
he had to rest players उस time पे. तो उस वो day Vinicius Junior did not play on the left. So Rodrygo played on the left, and every time Rodrygo plays on the left, you can see how much better he is. कि वो natural वहाँ, like he's a natural fit for that side, right? तो मुझे हमेशा लगता था कि वो उसको just because Vinicius का एक मतलब there was this thing कि he came first, and also because he had like this breakthrough season, इसे वहाँ खेलने नहीं मिल रहा है. बट इस साल अगर देखोगे ना मैचेस, सो रोड्रिगो इवन इफ ही इज ऑन द राइट, ही काइंड ऑफ they do this play where they वो बोलते हैं ना, they overload the left करके. तो वो Vinicius and Rodrygo both sort of attack वहाँ पे, and then the pace is nothing the opponent can match, and then they score goals. So they have been doing that, and he comes into the
Okay.
center. Or in one game तो Rodrygo, because Benzema was not there and he played him as a center forward, he also dropped into the midfield. He roams around. Basically, wo right, he doesn't stick to the right. And Carlo now
Yeah.
has given him that kind of
So I think
flexibility.
Rodrygo and Valverde put together is a cheat code. People you heard here.
Correct.
क्योंकि यार
Correct.
because Valverde नहीं
So
होता
it's
ना,
very
maybe he was not
fluid.
able to do that.
Absolutely, because see, Valverde adapts immediately to whatever is
बिल्कुल.
going on, right? Valverde adapts immediately, and that is another place where Casemiro used to do that very intelligently too. Because Casemiro, of course, not up front, but he used to draw back and help out with and that is required of him, his defensive duties. But that was something they could bank on, like Modric and Cruz could always bank on him to do that. So that is one like. And I used to love Casemiro, so वो आते हैं बीच बीच में मैं mention करूँगी, but you're right. Like Valverde is also so fluid, but Rodrygo ka game this season has been so fluid because of not restricting himself to that right now. That you can see he is really good, and he has, like you said, the sort of he has the instincts of that center forward. So he can I think at one point there were all these. He was surrounded by the opposition players, and he broke through, and he just calmly finished that off, and
Yeah.
that's been his trademark. You can see in the UCL goals last season, also in the deciding games. So, what are
बिल्कुल.
ye? And coming to Chouameni, you are asking me about Chouameni. So it is not surprising because of this, right? Because now Rodrygo is not just restricted एक position में. उसको he's not just running up and down the right, and he's actually contributing a lot more. Overloading the left, playing as a center forward, like dropping midfield में थोड़ा और deep. So because of that, Chouameni is linking up really well with him, and Rodrygo also, his link up play has drastically improved because of this. Last time
बिल्कुल.
around, he was a little lacking there. It was mostly his finishing he was being praised for, and rightly all the goals that he scored. But his link up play has tremendously improved because of that. So yeah, and Chouameni has his link up with Rodrygo, and also in general, right? Like his defensively also, क्योंकि हम numbers नहीं देखते, क्योंकि कुछ कुछ गेम्स में ऐसे होता है कि चैलेंज नहीं किया अगर ऑपोजिशन ने तो तुमने देखा ही नहीं ना, मतलब डिफेंस में
See,
कैसे किया
that's
गया।
the position ना, वो
रूडिगर का भी
पोजीशन
वही
ऐसे
हुआ।
डिफाइन होती है। यू रिमेंबर बैक इन द डे, मतलब जब मैकेलेले वाज आउट ऑफ रियल मैड्रिड, जिडान ने बोला कि आप इंजन को ही हटा दो तो क्या होगा भाई, मतलब इट्स नॉट डन।
करेक्ट करेक्ट
एंड देन
करेक्ट।
चेल्सी यू नो बोथ द फ्रूट्स, क्योंकि वो दिखता नहीं, इट्स नॉट प्लीजिंग टू द आई, इट्स नॉट विजिबल। लेकिन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे there are certain positions now, if the player is not visible, I would say it's better performance, or that means the player has not made a mistake, or वही Chouameni is done. Also I think distribution में Real Madrid के लिए, even as an opposition or you know as a neutral as well, मैं बोलूँगा I am very kind of you know as in scared of the distribution of Real Madrid, because आपके पास है क्रूज, दिखाई है मिडवीक में that Rudiger को जो मिला था गोल, क्रूज का असिस्ट था, we all forget that. And of course, you know, Chouameni, like I said, to Rodrygo, and Modric, yeah, he's second to none as well. So I am really scared. Again, Barcelona might be careful of that, because उनके पास, yes, PK has been an issue, I know that. लेकिन again, to be fair to PK, भाई वो खेला नहीं इतना, तो I know that with his experience you expect it. But I don't know. Barcelona, for me, going given Alonso as a centre back was a big question mark in midweek.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because when you have other players, why would so? There was this interesting perspective. I think yesterday when I attended one space key play De Jong and
Yeah, exactly.
play him in the defense. So
Yeah.
they actually said he can do that. Why would you want to risk PK after this? So
Because Dion can
he's
especially
being
वो पढ़ सकता है ना गेम प्ले. So
exactly
if you
yeah.
actually know where the pass is going, you are positioning better. Barcelona play that way. So it was very surprising for them to use Alonso in a position where he's not used to. तो I know बहुत ट्रोल किया गया Alonso, but to be fair, unfair है. I know आप लोग बोलोगे भाई ये चेल्सी फैन बोल रहा है वापस से, लेकिन ट्रू नहीं है यार. Alonso is good in certain aspects he's not good. It's a fact. So in such a big game, you have to use. So again, I know that I saw Barcelona, fans talking in the comments saying that they probably don't want a PK. Unfortunately, again, Kunde is fit, but I still doubt if he would start, considering yeah, no match fitness. And again, Kunde, he's been great, but he's played most of the matches at right back, if I remember
Yeah.
right, for Barcelona this season. So वहाँ पर maybe he comes in at right back, might be an opportunity, for them to continue with PK. I don't know.
I
लेकिन
think they will have to, because other than that कौन है? Sergi Roberto है ना, and
नहीं, like you said, De Jong maybe is used, or midfield में they'll continue with the three. I know Busquets, again there are people calling him that नहीं start करना चाहिए भाई. El Clasico में Busquets you need very much so, in my opinion. What do you think?
yeah, I see this is a 50-50 thing. Like I can see why people like Barca fans will say कि Xavi will start him. This is like मेरा कार्लो के साथ का same thing, right? That he will start him. But on the other hand, what is your alternative, right? हम टीम का तो वही देखेंगे. What is your alternative? And secondly, Busquets has that experience, and you never know in a big game like this. That is what counts sometimes, and it's always like this, right? Like people will call for Kroos's head when he has like an off game or something, and they'll be like, "Bas karo, you have Kamavinga, क्यों नहीं start?" But it's not. You can't start them. It's not. There is something called experience, and the kind of they've been with the team for so long that maybe it is not a sustainable option to continue with them throughout, but when you're out of options, I don't know what they can do. So
Yep. By the way, मैं quick shout out देना चाहूँगा. I know that I missed a few comments. People, भाई around 80 people are watching. We can easily double this number. वो कैसे होगा? आप लोग like दबा दीजिए. और like से क्या होता है? YouTube algorithm ऐसा है कि basically वो बाकी लोग को बताएगा कि हम live है, और हम basically predictions पे आएंगे. हम we are if time permits we'll do a quick combined 11. I know it's always controversial. लेकिन भाई हम try करेंगे to do that in the last few minutes. लेकिन not just that, यहाँ पर big shout out है to आशीष. आपका super chat मैंने देखा. Again, the gesture counts. Absolutely, Ashish Rajara. मैं तो बोलता हूँ he's the John Terry of our channel. Ashish, there is big shout out. Manav को भी big shout out. Absolutely, like Manav says, let's get to the likes. Absolutely, Kunde should come on after 70 minutes. Dramatic appearance बोल रहे हैं Ashish. चलो, interesting. Kunde has been given the green signal to start this
I
Clasico.
think he will start.
Yeah, but
I
वही
honestly
position,
think.
I think right back is probably what they'll go. They'll go the back
Right
foot
back.
is what मैं सोच रहा हूँ.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because
Balde left back and Kunde right
yeah,
back. बाकी I think team kind of pick themselves. Only चीज यार, जैसे आपने बोला, De Jong, if they're able to use him as a centre back, जो pre-season के I know थोड़ा risky है, लेकिन only if they feel that PK is not good for week in week out वाला football. That might be the only reason. नहीं तो यार मैं नहीं देखता हूँ that they might risk him either. अरे TCSB in house, उनको भी shout out absolutely. People do check out TCSB absolutely as well. Busquets is must for the win. Madrid need him on the 16th. Unknown by Madrid need him. Okay, interesting. भाई वर्ल्ड कप प्रेडिक्शन आप लोग पूछ रहे हैं, विल कम टू दैट एब्सोल्युटली भाई. Dhenuka, hope to have you again for the World Cup. Of course अभी बाकी है, तो अभी there's a lot to discuss इसमें, तो yes, but pretty sure Dhenuka, I remember आप स्पेन सपोर्टर हो ना, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see.
Despite
sure
everything,
वहाँ
I'm a Spain supporter.
पर we will have a lot of discussion वहाँ पे. तीबो डाउट है सहज अभी तक as things stand.
Thibaut is
it's a
not
little bit
going to
doubt.
start.
करेक्ट. थोड़ा बार्सिलोना पर्सपेक्टिव और थोड़ा बात कर लेंगे. वजह उससे पहले एक्चुअली ट्रांसफर की बात करना मैं भूल गया. मैंने कमेंट को स्टार किया है, एंड यस यहाँ पे अबाउट एम्बापे. सो यहाँ पे आई नो बॉम्ब फूट गया था इवन इन द मिड वीक. एम्बापे अगेन सेइंग कि मैं खुश नहीं हूँ, मुझे जाना है, ऑल दोस थ्रोइंग हिज टॉयज आउट ऑफ द प्रैम. बट I know हमने काफी डिस्कस किया था in the summer about this, but Dhenuka, what is your gut feel that eventually will it be Haaland coming after what he does in Man City after maybe say 3 years, or you think नहीं Mbappe will go again?
So मैंने लास्ट टाइम भी वो जब भी एम्बापे का पूरा सागा अनफोल्ड हुआ था तभी भी मैंने यही बोला था, when he rejected, मतलब उसके बाद का जब भी when all the meltdown was happening and everybody was saying, see we are all having this big meltdown and even now it is too soon, तो everybody will be like नहीं चाहिए, दूर रहे अभी तो, and all of that stuff. But the thing is that Haaland and Mbappe are these generational players, and you can see that all said and done, he is still a fantastic player. He's absolutely brilliant, and I think right now जो अभी चालू है, I don't think he's coming to Real Madrid now, based on whatever he's throwing this. Well,
और
we thought
फिट
it
कहाँ
was
होगा
throwing
अभी
it.
Dhenuka? टीम में भी मतलब I know he's
नहीं
Mbappe.
होगा, नहीं होगा.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. So the Real Madrid का, if I'm not wrong, the plan was that they will have Mbappe because he can play on the right, and so have him play as a winger, forward, but as a winger, and then sort of transition him to the center forward position when Benzema retires, right? Because when Benzema is gone, you'll have someone who can take over that position. Now comes this whole खुलासा कि उसको वहाँ खेलना ही नहीं है in PSG. तो अब अगर ये बात है तो विनी को तो हम रिप्लेस नहीं करेंगे लेफ्ट में आफ्टर द सीजन ही इज हैड एंड आफ्टर द काइंड ऑफ फॉर्म ही इज इन. तुम विनीसियस जूनियर को लेफ्ट से नहीं निकालोगे अभी. तो यही है कि वो यहाँ आके खेलेगा फिर राइट में, यहाँ आके उसको सेंटर फॉरवर्ड चाहिए तो बेंजेमा का पोजीशन उसको मिलने नहीं वाला है. And so again it goes back to that thing कि अब he no longer seems like a natural fit now, क्योंकि उसके हिसाब से he doesn't want to play there and that throws everything out of the window. But most importantly it's the kind of, and I know कि अभी नया कुछ ड्रामा चालू है कि ये सारा एक्चुअली पीएसजी ने किया
फेक अकाउंट्स
बॉट्स को पे करके लाइक उसका जो इमेज है उसको मलाइन करने के लिए उन्होंने काफी कुछ किया है.
स्टोरी आई स्वेयर.
किसी ने हमारे ग्रुप पे बोला था, एंड आई थिंक इट इज द परफेक्ट थिंग कि ये इसका नाम होना चाहिए कीपिंग अप विद द पेरिजियंस करके.
और बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है. नो मतलब हम मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं लेकिन वो ये द डोर इज क्लोज फॉर द टर्टल. तो समवेयर डाउन द लाइन देयर इज अ कनेक्शन कि भाई वो रियलिटी में नहीं जीता है बंदा. दैट्स अ प्रॉब्लम. आई थिंक इट्स मोर देन दैट. लाइक आई विल गो बैक टू सेइंग द सेम थिंग जो हम समर में बात किए थे. I feel he's been badly advised around him. Again, Mbappe auntie is also involved. I believe his mom, and that's also one of the core reasons of it. And that's the thing which happens. What he's 22, 23 if I'm not wrong. So
yeah, मैं वही कह रही थी ना उस टाइम पे. मैं ये कह रही थी कि पीपल्स मेमोरीज आर वेरी फिकल. हाँ मतलब आज हम ये बोल रहे हैं ना, लेकिन 4 साल बाद 3 साल बाद, क्योंकि वो उसका द बिगेस्ट स्ट्रेंथ ऑन हिज साइड एटलीस्ट अंटिल नाउ वाज ऑलवेज हिज एज, राइट? वो और 3 साल में ही इज स्टिल गोइंग टू बी इन प्राइम फॉर्म. ही इज गोइंग टू बी इन हिज मिड 20s. मतलब सोच के देखो ना, तो 3 साल के बाद भी ही इज लाइक, if he continues with his form, which and I suspect he will, because he has quality. तो 3 साल बाद the situation would have been something completely different. But the way everything played out, there is no way, no chance, and अभी तो there is no chance कि वो आ रहा है. And मतलब दूर ही रहो यार. and तुम you can have the greatest of players in your team, लेकिन अगर ड्रेसिंग रूम में तुमने वहाँ पे ये मतलब अशांति फैलाया ना, तो फिर the greatest team can't win. And ये Real Madrid खुद experience कर चुके हैं. So I would never sort of want that diva character, you know. अभी जो team की camaraderie है, जो connection है between the players, even on a personal level, you can see कि it's they gel really well, they fit really well, both as a team and on a personal level also. तो
Yeah, yeah.
ये तोड़ के
We
मतलब एक दीवा को नहीं लेके आना है.
जैसे मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, आई नो इट्स मे बी नॉट एग्जैक्टली द करेक्ट एग्जांपल, लेकिन कल की बात ले लो, रूडिगर जब इंजर्ड था, आफ्टर सीइंग दैट वीडियो, द मोमेंट इट हैपेंड और व्हेन इट वाज हैपनिंग, आई वाज सीइंग अलाबा देयर, मॉडरिच देयर, क्रूज
Cruz,
देयर, यू नो,
yeah,
मिलिटा वाज जस्ट वेटिंग आउटसाइड एज वेल एज रोड्रिगो. मतलब दैट इज समथिंग दैट इज, एक लग रहा है एक, आई नो दैट्स क्वाइट ह्यूमन, आई नो फॉर एवरीवन, लेकिन
true,
it happened the moment or they had not even changed. So that
yeah,
tells me that okay, it's actually there's concern for each other, and especially with Rudiger जो just join किया है. So that is what you see. That is an element. लेकिन again, coming to Barcelona again, संतोष बोल रहे हैं that the midfield battle will decide this game. Yeah, you can say that हम इतना बात कर रहे हैं about Chouameni, for example, you know, for Modric, Kroos के भाई distribution अगर stop कर पाए Barcelona, something that is great. But again, मैं तो फिर भी assume करूँगा that despite Barca की form, Barca, it's not that Real Madrid have really blown away teams. तो मुझे अभी भी लग रहा है Barca might have a lot of possession in this game, जो I think maybe suits Real Madrid in a strange way. और yeah, 3-4-3 is quite a possibility, लेकिन I still feel that you know, with Balde and maybe Kunde coming back, यहाँ पर they might go for the back, क्योंकि remember Real Madrid के जो wings है, that you cannot really, you know, as in take us to you know, a foot off, especially with Valverde and Vinicius Junior. So you might actually have Eric Garcia. In my opinion, decent performance था against Inter Milan, Eric
yeah.
Garcia का. It's just that who partners him, whether it will be a risk of De Jong all of a sudden or it will be just PK. That might be the only question. I don't know. Midfield they might go with tried and tested. I feel संतोष देखते हैं. Time will tell. आप लोग बोलिए बाकी लोग. By the way, shout out to Sadiq
Sorry.
Bhai. I know that he was there. I know he's busy, but I would have loved to have you, Sadiq Bhai, as always. And yes, for people asking, Usman Bhai is not in because Usman Bhai first of all wasn't well, and then he got a meeting in the last moment. जब उन्होंने हाँ बोला तो, but कोई नहीं. You know that Usman Bhai is always welcome. But time मिला तो आ जाएंगे towards the end. Let me take a few more comments. Yes, absolutely. Hello to Abhishek, almighty board member in the house. Thanks for coming on, people. Again, let's get in the likes, people. Bhai, there are 115 people watching. Hopefully, भाई सब लोग subscribe कर दिए to both our channels, because हाँ, हमारा दूसरा channel Almighty Sports Plus, और वहाँ पर just to let you all again, 1 घंटे में we are going to be live for the Premier League talks. And yes, वहाँ पर मेरा दुख थोड़ा मैं प्रकट करूँगा about Reece James. we'll get there to some extent. I'm actually pissed off for a reason वहाँ पर, मैं बताऊँगा जिससे, तो do join there in one hour. Okay, यहाँ पे चलो अभी Sham in the house as well. तो Dhenuka, I know that you have to leave in about 10 minutes. भाई उसके पहले can everyone in the chat also get involved, and let's do, I know हम tactics तो बात करते हैं हमेशा, लेकिन एक combined 11 हो जाए, a combined 11 of the current 11, and we'll consider all the people who are available for the match. Is that fair? Or we'll consider the squad. Chalo, to be fair to Barcelona, we'll consider the entire squad, whether fit or not fit. What do you think, Dhenuka? Correct? चलो तो व्हाट फॉर्मेशन क्या हो जाए कंबाइंड 11 का, सब लोग और प्रेडिक्शंस भी बोल दीजिए साथ साथ में. पीपल इन द चैट, इट्स बार्सिलोना एट द सैंटियागो बर्नाब्यू विद हेड टू हेड काउंटिंग, तो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट मैच है. तो 4-3-3 सब लोग, 4-3-3 इज प्रॉब्ली इज व्हाट वील गो विद, बिकॉज आई थिंक बोथ द टीम्स आर काइंड ऑफ कंफर्टेबल प्लेइंग दैट. तो in goal, without a shadow of a doubt, on form, would you pick Ter Stegen? Well, arguably he has been as good as Courtois. तो आई डोंट नो, मतलब मैं यहाँ पर आई डोंट नो, आई एम टेकिंग द न्यूट्रल. ठीक है, 4-3-3 सब लोग 4-3-3 क्लासिक बोल रहे. चलो इन गोल से शुरू करते हैं. इन गोल मैं तो टर स्टेगन बोल रहा हूँ अगेन, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्टोआ बीइंग दिस टू चेल्सी, नथिंग अगेंस्ट रियल मैड्रिड, लेकिन मैट्स क्लियर बोल रहे हैं राजेश, गोइंग बाय द फॉर्म. हाँ, कोर्टोआ थोड़ा इंजर्ड भी है, तो कैन वी पुट टर स्टेगन?
Ter Stegen, yeah, let's put Ter Stegen. He's been in phenomenal form.
Dhenuka being good. चलो यार, combined 11 में तो हम हरा लेंगे बोलेंगे बार्सिलोना को, लेकिन
नहीं, and yeah, you can't overlook the fact that he's been good though.
Yeah, he's actually been real good. Left back, who's the better left back? Balde has been actually very good. मैं impressed हूँ काफी Balde से, but Ferland Mendy या David Alaba, who do you go for?
Mm, to be very honest, Alaba as an LB, at least abhi to he is not. This season only
Correct.
we've seen him as a left back, right? So I have not been very impressed as Alaba the left back uh, over Alaba the
Most of
centre
them.
back. So I
ठीक है
would,
तो आई थिंक
yeah,
ये दिस वन लुक्स गुड कुंडे अराहो रूडिगर अलाबा लेकिन वही है लाइक डेनुका सेड to be honest Alaba hasn't really played as a left back this season much it's always been Mendy or some games mein Rudiger aaya as a substitute that's what has
right.
happened और again Balde has been very very impressive कोई Balde का नाम नहीं लिया तो सब लोग are going for Alaba or Mendy
I would put Mendy
मेंडी
for
ओके
personally.
चलो तो आई एम गोइंग विद मेंडी पीपल भाई सब लोग आप लोग भी बता दीजिए अगर आप डिसएग्री करते हो राइट बैक प्रीटी श्योर भाई कुंडे को डाल रहे लोग आई नो दैट इफ ही
And
इज फिट बट आई
Carval
स्टिल फील
any day.
कारवाल इट हैज कारवाल होना चाहिए यार मतलब
Underrated
एवरीवन हाँ
last season and I think even this season.
राइट बैक कोई
Ma-
कारवाल का नाम नहीं लिया है अभी तक आर यू सीरियस इन
right
द
back
चैट
for me is yeah, Carval without a doubt.
Why Real Madrid fans? Are you serious? I know Barcelona fans. आप लोग भी try to put a neutral perspective for 1 second. यहाँ पर हम मैच नहीं जीत रहे, खाली combined 11 on paper कर रहे हैं मजे के लिए. कारवाल चलो आ गया भाई एक जन कारवाल. अरे हाँ अभिषेक. To be honest यहाँ पर थोड़ा neutrals का opinion ज़्यादा लूँगा मैं. Not that Abhishek is a member. I'm not having any partiality. लेकिन अभिषेक पता है मुझे neutral है just like me. So me as a neutral भी मैं agree करता हूँ Dhenuka that I think it's got to be Carvajal. That need no doubts. Yeah, I think let's put Carvajal. Centre backs. So centre backs should it be the tried and tested Real Madrid partnership, or would you say no? Christensen has actually been good if he's fit.
I would put Real Madrid centre backs to be honest. So
No surprise there.
no surprises and I genuinely think it would. So एक बात की नहीं ना हम लोगों ने. So I think उनको and here's where I think they will miss Araujo a lot क्योंकि कल का गेम तो मतलब यही होगा. Barca obviously plays like they'll attack and they try to score and Real Madrid always with Barca tries to score on the counter, right? Because that is where you can attack the weak defense this time around especially. तो उसमें I think they will really miss Araujo क्योंकि वो वहाँ पे एक है कि वहाँ पे on the counter defend करने के लिए it's going to be tough and yeah, so sorry that is off topic but anyway इसके लिए I was
बिल्कुल
going
मैं
on.
देखा हाँ क्रिस्टियन हैज बीन ग्रेट लेकिन अगेन आई थिंक ज्यादा कमेंट्स में देख रहा हूँ आ रहा हो तो होना चाहिए भाई जब फिट हो आई थिंक दिस इज प्रॉब्ली आई वेंट फॉर एज वेल दिनुका लाइक वुड यू स्ट्रांगली अपोज दैट आई थिंक इट्स फेयर
It's fair.
इट्स फेयर राइट ठीक है
Yeah.
तो गो विद दैट एंड मिडफील्ड में यू वुड आर्ग्यू ऑन फॉर्म चौमनी हैज टू गेट ओवर बुस्केट्स
Form,
एंड
yeah, I'll definitely prefer Chouameni. He's been
on
impressive.
form or beside I think Modric got to be in there knowing Denuka
Yes.
तो Modric is got to be there और Barcelona में Pedri is got to be there नहीं Pedri as much as Gavi यार he is really improved in एक physical strength में लेकिन I think Pedri is a baller मतलब even in this season I think Pedri जब अच्छा खेलता है बारसा अच्छा खेलती है सब लोग let me know in the chat आप लोग क्या सोच रहे हो हम लोग तो ये सोच रहे हैं आई थिंक Denuka is agreeing as well and again हम quickly कर रहे हैं because again we are having another stream में Denuka also has to go लेकिन striker में this is the biggest point who would you pick should Benzema play wide जो खेलता था in Ronaldo days or strange I know or maybe we should just put Vinicius on the right hand side वो खेल सकता है and Benzema coming on the left
No. Vinicius on the right is a disaster. I mean,
oh man Abhishek
to be
is
fair, he's not a right winger, but he's not.
yeah
I would not put Vinicius on the right.
again हम फॉर्म में पिक कर रहे थे इनको याद रखो
Yeah. So right में who else is there? Barca का तो Dembele है and ours will be I would put Valverde there.
yeah I think Valverde picks himself to be honest Valverde को पहले डाल देते हैं Valverde Vinicius है up front एक ही पिक कर सकते हैं oh my god यहाँ पे लड़ाई होने वाली है I'm sure
Okay, given the current form, I would say Lewandowski.
Oh my, यहाँ पर यार I am like shocked. Dhenuka being so nice. मतलब यहाँ पर मैं I didn't expect that, but yeah, this is probably the I think बहुत fair है, बहुत fair 11 है everyone. और मैं देख रहा था chat के comments देखा तो based on that I've gone for it as well. I've not ignored you all. Don't worry about it. भाई I hope it's fair. And again, इसमें से आप लोग बताइए in the chat who's going to score and what is going to be the score line this Sunday. और हाँ, I will be doing a mega watch log as well. Plan तो है because I know Chelsea का गेम पहले है, then we have the El Clasico and then we have the Liverpool Man City जो हम प्रीव्यू करने वाले हैं just about 45 minutes from now on Almighty Sports Plus. लेकिन हाँ, ये इंजर्ड है definitely. ये हम we had done a combined 11 taking into consideration both the entire squads. Just to be fair, you know, लेकिन हमने कवर किया इंजरी न्यूज भी absolutely. अरे थैंक्स switch to 4-4-2 and play both. Just joking. नहीं दोनों साथ में नहीं चलेंगे यार, टैक्टिकली भी ये मुझे नहीं लगता वो चलेगी. जस्ट सेइंग. रफीनिया लेवा भी नहीं. चलो कोई नहीं, बहुत मजा आया. भाई पीपल let me know the predictions, score predictions हो जाए. Dhenuka, what is your gut? It's at the Santiago Bernabeu.
I want a 2-1 win for Real. But I know
2-1
it's going
win
to be
for
more.
Real Madrid. Okay, that's what Dhenuka is saying. Okay, let's see. मतलब
I
again
said I
for
want, huh? It doesn't
but
mean I think it's gonna happen.
यार मुझे लगता है ना, like काफी लोग चैट में भी बोल रहे थे and I agree that Barca, I know it's easy to say that they'll come back stronger and all that, and वो हाँ they are missing players, but somehow strangely I feel that you know मतलब एक होता है ना कि यार we have this to play for this, और इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ टाइटल डिसाइडर की, और it's like a World Cup final, you have to win this game. कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है बारसा के पास, because if they in case do badly here, और बहुत reports आ रहे हैं about Xavi also. I know I don't agree with those reports, लेकिन the reality is the kind of investment that Barca ने किया है after the levers, the pressure is on. मैं नहीं बोल सकता हूँ हाँ, लेकिन that does not transform into a win easily. I still feel that Barca have it enough. वही है, on the day Inter Milan was much better, or tactically if Xavi gets it right, which I believe hopefully is learned, it will be a close one. Again सादिक भाई बोल रहे हैं 3-1, लेकिन सादिक भाई you don't have Benzema playing in his A game in the last 2 weeks. इसलिए मैं I'm thinking again, Dhenuka and the Real Madrid fans are not like it. मेरा gut बोल रहा हूँ, मैं neutral से बोल रहा हूँ. I feel Barca might get a crazy dramatic winner. It will be a very close game. I'm saying 2-1, but to Barca. But again, great to have Dhenuka. Dhenuka, of course, yeah, Bombay Pina also we didn't kind of give a shout out. By the way, yes, people, भाई सब लोग Bombay Pina का Insta handle है नीचे, as well as Dhenuka. So please give them a follow as well. Of course. Yes, Usman Bhai again was supposed to be joining, lekin I believe last minute something came up. So hopefully we'll have him discuss sometime soon. But Dhenuka, last words.
Last words, Hala Madrid. Let's go.
8-2, man, ये कुछ ज़्यादा ही हो गया. 8-2 ज़्यादा ही हो गया. By the way, yes, there were a few start comments as well. मैं I know miss कर दिया, but you know what? मैं आप लोग आ जाइए वापस on Almighty Sports Club. Like I said, 8:45 we are live. So we are live. We are hopeful to have I think Z Bhai as well as Nitika joining us वहाँ पर. So if they come, definitely great होगा. नहीं भी we'll always be discussing. हाँ, FPL experts especially. देखो आप FPL खेल रहे हो?
नहीं यार, I missed the deadline royally. उसके बाद तो it was too
अरे
late.
you know my score is as bad कि आप even if you join now you might come close to me. You never kind of think so much in FPL. मजे के लिए करते हैं हम लोग तो अभी. I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. Interesting. Very
I
interesting.
have a feeling, after all this, it might be a 2-2 draw, but I don't want to say it. So I'll hope for a Real Madrid win, of course.
Chalo. Bhai, on that note, I think that is about it. Dhenuka, as in again, thanks a lot for coming on.
My
Any
pleasure.
activities of Bombay Pinya that you might want to share, anything that's going on, definitely go ahead.
This time around we have the big, like, La Liga is hosting a screening in Mumbai, which usually does not happen, right? So this is probably the only time we are not hosting a Clasico screening, and I was just telling like my the other members the other day कि पहली बार in so long हमको actually minute 1 से कुछ देखने मिलेगा, because otherwise we are
देखने
always
मिलेगा.
at the venue like figuring things out and ticketing का somebody will be like मेरा QR
ये
code
ये
नहीं
तो
चल रहा है.
सुपरस्टिशन लग रहा है मुझे. लास्ट टाइम जो हुआ था 4-0 उसके बाद में नहीं मे बी.
No, that 4-0 time was so usually क्या होता है ना, because of all the other stuff that we have to handle at the screenings and all that, We last time I think Bangalore में हुआ था, if I'm not wrong, the screening, and this time La Liga has chosen Mumbai as one of the screening venues. So they have partnered with Bombay Penya and FCB Mumbai. So हम मतलब all of us will be there वहाँ पे. So the first time the pressure is not on us for the ticketing and the venue and the event coordination and all that. तो मिनट वन से पहले बार देखने मिलेगा. I'll get to participate in the pre-game activities and all of that stuff, the other fun stuff that everyone else gets to do. So, but other than that, all big matches we screen. We hold screenings for those. आप Twitter and Insta पे follow करो, especially Insta पे. We are very active there.
Right.
तो वहाँ पे post होते हैं. We have our own football team, Madridistas, MFA. तो वो वहाँ पे भी we play in the Mumbai third division. So there are a lot of activities. So follow करो if you
एब्सोल्युटली एब्सोल्युटली
want
यस
to.
पीपल भाई, मैं तो ऑलरेडी फैन हूँ, इसलिए हमेशा आई गिव अ शाउट आउट एज वेल. लेकिन बिग अप तो देने को, बिग अप टू एवरीवन इन द चैट अगेन. भाई आप लोग ने बाय चांस लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो प्लीज कर लीजिए. और सेम चीज, कम जॉइन अस ऑन ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट्स प्लस फॉर द प्रीमियर लीग फैंस स्पेशली. एंड यस, चेल्सी की पीड़ा हम शेयर करेंगे, बट लिवरपूल मैन सिटी एज वेल. अभी के लिए बाय एंड ऑल द बेस्ट यार. मेरे लिए मिड वीक गेम वाज फैंटास्टिक बार्सिलोना का. आई एम होपिंग अ ग्रेट एल क्लासिको एज वेल. जस्ट लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू एज
Hope
न्यूट्रल.
so. Look for the
ओके,
same. Thanks so much for having me. Bye bye all.
ऑलवेज बाय ऑल.